Hello.
Hello.
As if we haven't been talking on Zoom for like 20 minutes already.
I know. Welcome to Spooky Okie Podcast.
We're glad to have you guys here. I'm Madison.
I'm Catherine. And today we are going to be talking about Ingalls, Oklahoma.
Ooh, we went ghost hunting there today.
We surely did.
So
today,
make sure sorry, stupid Zoom, the stupid lag. Make sure you support us on Patreon so you can watch our investigation from today. $3 a month, that's it.
That's it, guys, to get all the extra spooky content. All right, so should we dive in?
I guess so. Do we have any updates or anything? Other than we went ghost hunting and it was spooky?
And
we're planning our
got to go ghost hunting.
I know. This is like, we've tried to go twice before this. Only once to this place. Like we tried Fort Reno, didn't work, as you guys know. And then we tried Ingalls last weekend and the wind picked up as soon as we got there. So that was great. But this week we did it. It was great. Exciting stuff.
Got
pretty
some spooky stuff.
We're going to listen to the EVPs later, see if we got anything. But we definitely got other things.
Yep, for sure. And we're already planning our next few ghost hunts. So
I'm making Catherine go ghost hunting with me on my birthday, as if we don't do that all the time anyway.
Making me, because I'm not wanting to.
I literally sent like 12 texts back to back, being so annoying, being like, OMG, OMG, my birthday's on a Saturday. We can go ghost hunting on a Saturday. Like, we could go here. We could go here. It was ridiculous. It was like, how many texts until you block me?
It's okay. It's okay. That's why we're friends.
Yes, I just got excited. I didn't know my birthday was on a Saturday this year, and I realized it just now, and I got really excited.
That's the best, is when your birthday's on a Saturday.
I know, like a Friday or Saturday. Oh, amazing.
Either that or like when you have a job where you can take off for your birthday. That's also nice.
Yeah. Oh, I've never really had that. Oh well.
Now when I worked for Head Start,
though, so it's fine.
When I worked for Head Start, I would take off on my birthday.
Oh, scandalous.
I know. It was so
the best part is my mom was her boss at that job.
She was the best boss.
I know, she's great.
It'd be like, I would always be like, okay, I'm running late, but I will be coming to, the office soon. And she's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, why are you telling me?
She's like, you do your job, you're fine.
Or be like, hey, I'm gonna be late to the office, but I'm actually stopping at this location first. So really I'm starting work on time. And she's like, okay, I get it. Like, stop.
She's probably like, I'm late too. Like, why are you telling me?
I know, half the time she was like, I had to put a sheep back in a pin. I don't care.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah. Exactly. I got trapped in the gate by the donkeys. Like, sorry, I'm gonna be late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was great.
Man. Anyway, so back to spooky stuff, I guess.
Let's see. Oh, other update. Okay, so I know this is really stupid, but I'm super excited. Tomorrow I'm treating myself and I am going to watch the second Avatar movie at theaters.
Ooh, nice. That's exciting.
Yes.
I've not been to the movie theaters in so long.
I haven't either. This is the first time in months that I've been to the movie theater.
I am so glad you're getting to go do that. That'll be so fun.
So my mom's going to come watch my grandma so that I can go spend some time. I'm going to get myself a bucket of popcorn. I'm going to get myself a Coke. I'm going to watch Avatar. I'm so excited.
Nice. That is going to be so nice. Sometimes you just need that.
Yes. And I was like, you know what? Typically on Sundays, I don't really have a break because it's like getting ready for school the next week and grading papers. And it's like, you know what? Although I should be doing all that, I'm going to take a break. So
as you should.
I'm ready.
As you should.
Yes.
I don't get a break tomorrow. I need to work on my scene for acting class because like I didn't do great this past week. So I'm meeting up with my partner to work on it. I'm meeting up with my partner to work on it. And then I have 2 auditions that came in yesterday that I like really need to do, but I just didn't have a chance to do today. So I'm gonna do tomorrow. So, and I need to film my slate shots. I have so many things to do. And I need to wash my hair at
You
some
say
point because it's
slate
so greasy.
shots?
Yeah, there's this thing on, so like you use Actors Access to submit for things. Like it's either Actors Access or casting
Okay.
networks. Actors Access is more for like TV and film usually. Usually a lot of the commercials are like casting networks. Anyway, just like websites. But Actors Access, you have to have like these slate shots, and it's literally just like a 7-second video of you being like, "Hey, my name's Madison Hall, blah blah blah." Just like a
Okay.
little like intro. It's like your headshot come to life. But I haven't done
Oh,
mine,
nice.
and I like got new headshots more than that, more than 3 months ago, a few months ago, and have
Uh-huh.
not attached my slate shots, which is like not good. I should have done that. But I also borrowed other people's clothes for my headshots, and like you're supposed to be in the same outfit. And so then I was like, crap, now I have to ask
Oh.
these people to borrow their clothes again. So I literally put it off for months because I didn't want to be like, hey, Chandler, can I borrow your shirt? So I just didn't. And so
Gotcha.
I finally was like, okay, literally these people are my friends. Why am I not wanting to ask to borrow their shirt again? Like ridiculous. So I finally did it. So I have people's
Nice.
shirts now to use for my slate shots. Anyway, that's my whole saga
Good.
that like should not be a saga because it literally doesn't matter. But anyway, that's what I'm doing tomorrow.
If it matters to you, it matters.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. I'm really excited for this episode because I don't have to do anything. I get to
I
just
know.
listen.
Isn't
It's my
that nice?
favorite. Oh, it's the best. So exciting.
Well, I've hopefully made this as much like a story as possible because
Perfect.
although there's some spooky stuff, I don't have a ton of spooky stuff for this one, but the history part is wild enough in itself.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just from what I know about it, which is like not much.
So, are you ready to dive into the story of Ingalls, Oklahoma?
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right. So, let me go ahead and read off my sources. So, the first one is onlyinyourstate.com, travelok.com, tiktok.com. Specifically, the user was Black Sheep Travels.
Okay.
Legendsofamerica.com, oklahoman.com, of course, our classic wikipedia.org. And then also the book, I'll even show it to you. I have it right here.
Ooh, fancy.
Ghost Town Tales of Oklahoma, Unforgettable Stories of Nearly Forgotten Places by Jim Marion Eder.
Incredible.
I hope I'm saying
Incredible.
the name right.
I really love
That book.
Sorry, stupid Zoom. I really love that you use TikTok as a source and you're like TikTok.com because the amount of times that I will watch a TikTok and learn something really great, but then be too embarrassed to be like, oh, I saw it on TikTok. And I'll be like, I read in an article that blah, blah, blah. And like act like it's
Nice.
some article or something and try to sound scholarly with it. But really, it was just a TikTok that I saw at 2 a.m.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be honest. I use TikTok.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, so little shout out to the author. He actually quotes my great-grandfather in a different story.
Right.
So not about Ingalls, but he actually quotes my great-grandfather, who actually then mentions my great-great-grandfather in the story. But yeah.
That is so crazy.
So when I was
insane.
like 8 or 9, I actually met the author and got a signed copy of the book.
Oh, you were always meant to do this podcast. It's fate.
So I actually couldn't find my copy of it that's signed with all my moves. I don't know what box of books it's in that's still in my garage, but I've got to find it at some point.
Yeah, you do.
But so I got this from the local library. But
Nice.
yeah, it actually mentions CJ Longest, my great granddad.
That's so cool. Wait, is it about a spooky place? Is it somewhere we can go?
So I'm not sure if it's actually spooky or not. Like it's historical for sure,
Okay.
but it's that place that I was talking to you about when we went to Thackerville.
Right.
It used to be called Petersburg, and now it's just like a sign on the side of the road. It's not really
okay.
a town anymore. So Yeah, I'm gonna have to read it and see, like, I know there was a battle there,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not
It's not
actually
if there was a
sure.
battle.
But I'm not sure if, like, there's reported spookiness, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And there's so much that's just countryside in that spot
Yeah. That's
that
hard.
I don't know if there's any, like, actual locations that we could find.
Okay. Too bad. That would have been cool.
Yeah. If my family still owned the land, then I would say we could just go exploring, but that's not the case.
That was a loaded statement, but we're just gonna gloss over that.
It's fine. Those relatives definitely don't listen to this podcast.
Family drama.
Maybe one day I'll share that story on the podcast. Not today.
Yeah, no. Wait for the right time.
Maybe that could be Patreon content.
Oh, the family drama. Oh, I've got so much family drama I could share on Patreon.
The family tea spilt.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
maybe that could be one of our spin-off things. Sorry,
I
we
like
could cut
it.
this later, but it could be
Yeah.
like family tea or ghost tea, and people could write in
Yeah.
about their family tea or any, like,
Oh, I love it.
ghost tea, ghostly things.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for it. All right, you guys heard it here first. Write in all of your family drama and all of your paranormal drama. Whatever
Yeah,
that
all
means
of
to
it.
you. All of it. We want all of it. Anyway, for all of our 2 listeners, write in your family drama.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if my students wanted to write in, they always are trying to tell me spooky stories. So
Ooh, tell them to write in. We will read them on the podcast.
yeah, I'll have to tell them.
Yeah, for real.
All right. So, Ingalls, Oklahoma. So, Ingalls is a small town east of Stillwater, Oklahoma. So, for anybody that's not familiar with Oklahoma geography, Stillwater is where OSU, Oklahoma State University, so big sports school, that's where that school is located, is in Stillwater. So, Ingalls is just east of Stillwater. So, I'm going to start by telling you a little story.
Hey.
So on September 1st, 1981, Galveston David Abercrombie was driving his sisters in a buggy to Ingalls from Stillwater. He was
Wait,
taking
did you
them to
say
a church.
1981?
Wait, hold up. Did I write the wrong year?
In a buggy? I assume it's 1891, but
hold
like
up.
it's also Oklahoma.
No, I got the year wrong. Hold up.
Okay, I was like, it's Oklahoma. Like it could be. It could be. I would not be surprised to see a horse and buggy in the 1980s. Like I get it, but I just wanted to clarify.
No, thank you for that. That is incorrect. It was 1893.
Okay, great, love it.
Let me just double check. Hold on. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, perfect. That was so funny.
Give me a second. Yeah, 1893. Okay.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay.
That's wonderful. I was just like really like, oh wow, what an Oklahoma story. Like, love it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the 1980s.
No, 1893. I don't know where I came
great.
up with 1981. I have no idea. Okay, so on September 1st, 1893, Galveston David Abercrombie was driving his sisters in a buggy to Ingalls from Stillwater. They were going to a church picnic, or so he was told. When they got there, the sisters informed him that he actually took them to a dance.
Scandalous. It was probably illegal because it's Oklahoma.
Their parents definitely did not approve of any type of dancing. And they were prominent in their town. And so if they were found out that their daughters were dancing, then how could they have raised such scandalous women?
What a scandal. Fun fact for those who don't know, Footloose, the story of Footloose is actually based on a town in Oklahoma. And like the
Yeah.
pastor in Footloose, or like who it's like based on, like one of the people who was most adamantly against the dancing was a pastor at the church my mom grew up at. So
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
yeah, it was in Hennepin.
That's awesome.
Yep.
But the story, but the where he was at, where the dance, like the Footloose story took place, wasn't that Elmore City?
Yeah, that's where my mom went to high
Okay.
school. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, little like fun fact for those who would be interested.
So that's basically what's going on here. They had to go to a
Okay.
different town to go dance because they couldn't dance in their own town.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
It's barely different now, you know.
It's really not different.
So poor Galveston was upset because he was a rule follower, and so he was upset that he was tricked into helping his sisters go dance.
Oh, buddy.
And he was younger too, so it was like his older sisters got him to take them to a dance they weren't supposed to go to. Now he feels like he's gonna get in trouble. So he's bummed out. He's standing outside the dance hall. And the dance hall actually was a bare dirt floor. So the boys were actually not allowed to wear their boots in because everywhere listed it was like high-heeled boots. I'm guessing it's like the boots that have the thicker wedge.
Right. Yeah.
And so that would have scuffed up the dirt floor because the dirt's packed down, but if that brings it up, you're gonna get dirt everywhere.
Yeah.
So they're not, all the boys have their boots off except for Galveston because he's standing outside. He's like, I'm not dancing. I'm not a sinner. I'm not dancing.
Not going in that dance hall.
Going in that dance hall.
Might as well be hell.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you say that, but
I know.
It turns out hell was already in town. And he's outside, and all of a sudden he hears gunshots. Guns start firing in town. He quickly runs inside, grabs his sisters, pulls them back onto the buggy, and heads home. Buggy, dirt flying behind him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all the boys that had to take off their boots were scrambling in the bare dirt, running and hopping along without boots, trying to get home without their boots.
Yikes.
So, as he is heading home with his sisters, thankfully nobody's hurt. They're heading home. He starts laughing. His sisters ask why. And he says, because I just realized I'm the only boy at that dance to go home and not have to explain to my parents why I don't have my boots.
Ha, smart boy, smart boy.
So, what actually happened is he was hearing an actual gunfight going on. There was an actual gunfight happening in the town of Ingalls.
Ooh, the drama. Speaking of family drama.
The drama. So, Ingalls was actually a hideout for the Doolin Dalton gang.
Love it. Love it.
So the Doolin Dalton gang was known throughout Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma Territory, as it was at that time, for robbing banks, stores, holding up trains, and killing lawmen.
Oh no.
So Ingalls was one of their hideouts. They had other hideouts too, but Ingalls was one of them. And Ingalls actually served as a hideout for other outlaws too. Apparently it was the popular place for outlaws. And the town people were fine with it. They were glad they were coming in because what they would do is they would go do their unlawful robbery, shooting, all that, come back with their money that they've gotten and spend it in Ingalls.
All right, tourism. Love it.
Yeah. And so they would act nice and be gentlemen in Ingalls because that's their hideout. If they mess up in Ingalls, the town people are no longer going to protect them.
That makes sense. I guess you would want them to hide out in your town so they're not robbing your town. Yeah.
Exactly. So the Ingalls people love them. They didn't rat them out. However, hold on, let me back up. Okay, so I want to just because the names are so great. I've got to tell you the names of the gang, the members
Okay.
of the gang.
Okay.
So, this is in August of, let me get the year right.
1981.
1981. 1893.
Okay.
August of 1893, the following members of the Doolin-Dalton gang had been hanging out in Ingalls. So we've got Bill Doolin, makes sense. Bill
Makes sense, yeah.
Dalton, so Doolin and Dalton.
Bill
George
and Bill.
Redbuck Waitman.
Okay. Okay.
George Bitter Creek Newcomb.
All right. Just getting more creative.
Charlie Pierce, he doesn't get a nickname.
He said, I don't need that. I am the Charlie Pierce. I don't need a nickname.
I don't need a nickname. Arkansas Tom Jones.
All right, Arkansas
Tulsa Jack Blake.
Okay.
And my personal favorite, Dynamite Dick Clifton.
I feel like he was overcompensating, but I'll just leave it at that.
Either that or he was like aiming to be on the next Magic Mike movie. I don't know.
Yes. You know, in 1981. Mm-hmm.
In 1981, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
you know he gave himself that nickname. You know he just like
he
that
did
until everybody was like, fine, whatever. Like, we'll call you that. Stop saying it. He gave himself that nickname for sure.
Oh, you know the women that he was with were probably like Dynamite Dud Dick.
Exactly. That's what I said. He's overcompensating, obviously.
Yeah, not he did not get that nickname from others. You know he didn't.
No, he gave himself that nickname for sure.
For sure. So they were all staying in the Ingalls Hotel, which we saw a replica of today.
We did. Spooky.
And they spent most of their time at the Ransom Saloon,
which we didn't even go over to.
Did you realize that?
We're done.
We didn't, but there were no windows. There were no windows over there.
That's true.
We
also, like, they're all right beside each other, so like we were there with all the buildings. Space. But
yeah. So somehow word got out, and the U.S. Marshals heard about their hideout and started tracking them down. Marshal Evett, I don't know how to say this last name, so I'm just going for it, or saying this name, Evett Dumas.
Probably Dumas.
Evett Dumas, or Ed Nix, put together a task force of 27 deputy marshals and Indian police.
Okay, it's a big task force.
Yeah. So they start heading down to Ingalls, and on the evening of August 31st, they camped alongside a creek near town. However, a young boy spotted them, and so to prevent him from telling the gang, they held him at their campsite overnight. I know.
Okay, U.S. Marshals. Okay. All right. You guys are the good guys?
I was like, okay, who's the bad guys? Who's the good guys? I'm not quite sure right now. Like, we're kidnapping a child.
Probably, like, neither are good or bad. But
yeah.
Yikes. So, okay.
The boy, however, he escaped during the early morning, and he ran into town yelling to the gang, "The marshals are coming."
Okay.
So this is
27, a task force of 27 U.S. Marshals could not hold one child. Great. Cool. I have so much faith in them.
Oh, yeah, you should.
That's hilarious. Okay.
And also, I love the marshals are coming, because I'm like, is this the outlaw version of the British are coming?
Yeah, that was my first thought. All right, Paul Revere.
The marshals are coming. On the midnight eve of I can't remember I tried to learn. I learned that poem in 5th grade.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. I should have made like an outlaw Ingalls version of that poem, but I'm not creative enough.
Patreon content. I'll work on it.
Okay.
All right, one. I'm a poet.
I love it.
I've never wrote a poem in my life, but I'm about to.
I'm so excited for this.
You're gonna have to remind me, because I'm gonna forget as soon as we stop recording.
Well, I probably will too. Okay.
Support us on
So-
Patreon for my poetry.
Yes. Maybe we'll wrap it.
We will not do that. I will write it and Catherine can wrap
Oh,
it.
okay. Darn.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. So the warning that the boys gave the outlaws gave them the time they needed to saddle their horses. However, instead of fleeing while they have the chance, they decided to go back to their poker game at the saloon first.
I mean, who can blame them? The marshals couldn't keep hold of one child. They probably weren't that worried.
I know, they were like, okay, let's get the horses ready just in case they find us, but
But literally they lost
doesn't
a
look
child.
promising. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been worried either.
Been like, yeah, I'm going back to bed. That's
Yeah.
fine.
You woke me up for this.
So, on the morning of September 1st, the Marshals Task Force entered town. Things got heated pretty quick when they spotted Newcomb coming out of the saloon and get on his horse. They immediately fired on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, immediately. Immediately fired on him. I'm like, okay, you enter town. I'm sure like you've got your sheriff's badges on or whatever, because we are talking about like Old West type stuff.
Yeah.
But could you not be a little bit more slick and just
Right.
like go in, find where their horses are, and maybe like wait and ambush them? Like, why start a fight in the middle of town?
With one of them. There's
Yeah.
one. You're gonna tip off all the rest by shooting at the one that has come out.
No.
And you're in the middle
Like,
of
you have
town.
no
You can
idea.
hit civilians.
Exactly. You have no idea where the rest of them are, and you're just gonna go ahead and start shooting.
I have no faith in these U.S. Marshals. I'm sorry. You lost a literal child. You had one job, and it was to hold that child for the night and to not let him go.
Yeah.
And you lost him. And then you
Yeah.
fire on one outlaw when you don't know where the rest are? What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
This is ridiculous.
they fire on him as he's getting on his horse. And then, from an upper story window of the hotel, Arkansas Tom Jones had his comrades back and returned fire on the marshals.
All right, yeah. That tracks.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? Like, you just start shooting on a guy
Yeah.
without knowing where the rest of his people are. What do you think's gonna happen?
Dumb. That was dumb.
Like, and I say that, and like, I get that like these guys are supposed to be the good guys and some of them die, but
Right.
like, did we not have any planning?
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it. They held a literal child hostage, so
Yeah. So he mortally wounded so Arkansas Tom Jones, he's firing from the upper story of the hotel. So I saw in some place, but I don't remember where it was at, which article. I think he was sick or something, and that's why he was up in that hotel room, not down at the poker, not playing poker in the saloon. And so he fires on the marshals. He mortally wounds U.S. Marshal Thomas Houston.
Okay.
Houston then dies the next day.
Oh, okay. That's sad. I'm not, and I don't mean to like talk bad about people who like died to do this. It's just,
But like, you would think that the person that planned this whole thing,
exactly, yeah,
who had those men's lives in his hand that he's taking,
would have done a better job. Whoever it
would
was
have done a better job at planning. Yeah. So the next day, Thomas Houston dies the next day. Newcomb, who was the first outlaw shot at, he was wounded, but he was able to escape.
Okay. Because they already saddled their horses. They're ready to go.
They're ready to go. So hearing the gunfire, the rest of the gang jumped into action, joining the gunfight, obviously.
Yeah.
The outlaws then shot their way from the saloon to the stables where their horses were saddled. So I believe between that hotel and the saloon,
right,
is where the stables were, like behind.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
So Redbuck, Bill Dalton, and Tulsa Jack Blake all hopped on their horses and came out of the stables, guns blazing. Deputy Lafayette Shadley aimed at Bill Dalton but missed him and instead shot Dalton's horse. Dalton hit the ground. I know.
Oh, it's the saddest part of this.
I know. Dalton hit the ground still firing at the marshals. So his horse has been shot and he's like falling, like it's an action adventure movie right now.
Oh
Like
my
he's fallen off
goodness.
his horse and he's still firing at these marshals.
I would have loved to have seen that. That would be so cool to like be there when something like that happened. I mean, I guess not really, but like it
But
just
like,
sounds
yes,
so
it
cool,
would have
like
been
Old
like
West.
how
Like I want to
cool.
like go back in time. Like I don't want to see that today. Like obviously that's horrible, but I want to go back in time and like
Right.
see this stuff, you know?
Right. So he fires on Shadley, who had shot his horse, and he hits him. Shadley would then die 2 days later from his wounds.
Oh man, these outlaws are good shots.
They're good shots. Better than the marshals at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
So, while this was happening, Bill Doolin shot and killed Deputy Marshal Richard Speed. Dynamite Dick and Charlie Pierce were shot and wounded, but they were still able to ride, so they escaped. I believe it was on the back of one of their horses that Dalton was able to jump onto and then get away.
Yeah. So the outlaws all got away?
Except for Arkansas Tom Jones, who was trapped in the hotel.
Right.
So he was up in the hotel and he couldn't get away. He resisted arrest until the marshals threatened to blow the place up with dynamite.
These are the good guys. What?
I know.
Okay. This is exhausting. This is ridiculous. Okay.
So he finally surrenders and he was sent to federal prison in Guthrie. Okay, now get this. This is skipping ahead in time a little bit, but I just have to add this bit because I found this and I couldn't believe it. He was pardoned in 1910. Then once he got out, he started robbing again. Until they cornered him and it got him in a shootout and he died in 1924.
Oh man. Buddy,
I'm like,
you
why?
didn't learn your
I'm
lesson.
like, no, he didn't. And also, I'm like, guys, what are we doing? We're pardoning a guy who was in a gang, part of a shootout where marshals died, and you go ahead and pardon the guy?
Yeah.
What?
American justice system. Gotta love it. Ridiculous.
I'm just like, okay. So in addition to the 3 marshals, a town member was killed during the shootout.
Oh, see, that's why it was so dumb. Why did you just go in shooting?
Yep, exactly. A young boy named Young Simmons tried to escape the gunfire by ducking into the saloon and was shot and killed.
Oh, that is awful. Was it the same boy that warned them or different?
I don't know. I never saw. I don't know if it's the same boy or not.
Okay. Either way, awful. Awful.
Either way, awful. If it was the same boy, super sketchy.
Yeah.
On the part of the marshals, you know?
For sure.
But I have no way of knowing. I didn't see that anywhere. It just said young boy, and like it never said who the boy was that they kept in the first place, so I don't know.
Right. Okay. Also, like, it would have been awful no matter what, but like it would have made more sense if like the gang had started this shootout, blah blah blah. Like the bad guys started it. The part that bothered me is like it was the good guys that started this. Yes, like obviously they had to catch him. I get it, but like you're gonna shoot out in a place with like a hotel and a general store and a saloon, like in the middle of town with literal children around. You're gonna start shooting at people.
It's morning, so you know that people are already out running their errands, getting the day started. Like, you know, there's people out and about in this town already.
I wonder if the schoolhouse was in the same location as it is today. Like, I know that the replicas are not exactly it, but they're still right across from the schoolhouse. Like, the real location
I think the schoolhouse is remade in the same spot that it was originally.
So literally they started a shootout right across from the school.
Yeah.
Cool. Great. Love that.
Yep.
Ugh.
So another town member known as Old Man Ramson was shot in the leg, but he survived.
Okay.
The bartender, Mr. Murray, was also shot, but he was arrested for his part in aiding the gang.
Oh.
So he apparently like helped the gang a lot, getting resources, hiding them.
Yeah.
Keeping law off their tracks. Dang. So he was arrested for his part.
Okay.
So although most of the gang members escaped, they would all eventually be shot and killed in other gunfights.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. That's all of the history. Now to the spooky
Okay.
stuff.
Ooh, spooky stuff. I'm
Ooh,
excited.
spooky stuff. So, according to one source, TikTok, the
The
Ingalls
most
site has been
reliable source.
the most reliable source. The Ingalls site has been called one of the most haunted places in Oklahoma.
Really? Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but okay.
I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but
I think so. Yeah.
However, the Oklahoma Paranormal Research and Investigations Group did an investigation there in 2015. Oh, did I list that in my research or in my sources?
You did
Hold on.
now. You just
I
credited
did
them. It's okay.
now. Okay. Well, so I used their on their website they have an article about their investigation there.
Perfect.
So the Oklahoma. Okay, let me get back to my notes. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So in 2015, the Oklahoma Paranormal Research and Investigations Group did an investigation there. The site, so where we went, just a little bit of information. Where we went is the site where replicas are standing of the buildings.
Mhm.
They are not in the same spot as where the shootout actually took place.
Right.
So, however, the owners, like it's privately owned land, but they let people come on to where like the replicas are. You just can't go in the buildings. And so we were outside the buildings is where we were. But the owners let the paranormal research investigations group actually go inside the hotel to do some
Ooh.
investigations. Yeah.
We should have asked them.
I know we should have, but they seem like a whole lot more legit than we are. Just saying.
What? Spooky Okie is so legit. We're true
Sorry,
professionals.
I'm sorry, they just seem to have more resources and experience.
Can't argue with that. Yeah.
um so they also have a psychic on their team. And neither one of
I
us
want
are
a
psychic.
psychic on our team. We need to hire a psychic.
I was about to say we need your mom.
Yeah, my mom is a little bit of a psychic, except she doesn't believe in any of this
Yeah.
stuff. She doesn't believe she's a psychic, but she is.
Okay. Well, that could prove to be an issue.
I very rarely have psychic dreams. I do occasionally, but very rarely.
Okay, so we need to like dip you in radioactive waste to like enhance those psychic powers. I'm sure that's the way you do it.
That sounds reasonable to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. It's a plan.
That's
Maybe for my
how
birthday.
superheroes are made. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how superheroes are made. I'm sure that's how psychics are made too.
Exactly. That has to be it. Okay, perfect. I need to hone my skills.
Yeah, is there like a psychics training camp that you can go to
I bet
like
there
this
is.
summer?
I bet it's one of those like online things that they will post and be like, I made this much a month just by doing this. So take my online course. You know those?
Yeah.
It'll be one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
For only
sure.
$10,000.
You can learn how to channel your inner visions and your psychic communication abilities. Yeah.
That's it.
Harness the supernatural powers that lie within you.
Also, I'll teach you some digital marketing on the side.
Yeah.
It's always digital marketing.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So when they came, they set up a whole bunch of equipment. They had audio recorders, they had cameras, they had what else did they have? They had motion sensors, they had a geophone. I don't know what that is.
What is that?
They had a K2. I don't know. They had a K2. I don't know what that is. They had a cell sensor. And then lots of digital cameras, lots of audio recorders. They had 4 DVR cameras, 1 full spectrum camera. I don't know what any of that is.
But we're professionals too.
So I think maybe we need to use their list of what equipment they use and
Yeah. Did they have a
step up
spirit
our game.
box?
I'm wondering if that's what a K2 is.
Hold on.
Okay. Because I think in other podcasts, and that's how we drink,
Our
they've
favorite.
mentioned like, I think something that was similar to that as a spirit box.
Okay. Okay.
So I could be wrong. Could not be. It might
Wait,
not have anything to do.
K2. Oh, K2 is an EMF, I think.
Oh, it's an EMF. Okay.
I think so. Yeah. It's an EMF. We have an EMF.
Okay. What's a geophone?
An acoustic detector that responds to ground vibrations generated by seismic waves. Earthquake
Okay.
detector, basically.
Okay. That's interesting.
A geophone is a
Okay.
device that converts ground movement or velocity into voltage.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. A cell sensor is also an EMF detector.
Oh, okay. I just want to
So
figure
it
out how to use our
detects,
spirit box.
I know. So the cell sensor, it detects phone radiation and extremely low frequency electromagnetic fields.
Okay.
So which looks like what I saw in their pictures. So the tool does. So yeah, it doesn't say anything about using the spirit box then.
Interesting.
All right. So as they were setting up, and they were just, or I think they weren't even setting up at this point. They might have just been walking around. One of the investigators, Christy, was holding her audio recorder, and it picked up a woman's voice in the EVP saying, "I see you."
That's so creepy. Ooh.
Yeah. So they just like are walking into the building and they hear, "I see you."
Oh, I hate that. I would be out of there so fast. That's why I can't be a real professional ghost hunter, is because the first sign of anything, I'm like, okay, I have to leave.
Yeah. Can you
So
imagine?
scary. It's so scary. Oof.
It was like us
I,
at Stone Line. We're like, should we go out at 3 a.m. and go ghost hunting? And then we hear knock, knock, knock. And we're
and
like,
we said,
nope,
no,
nope, nope.
no. Oh, spooky.
So they leave a few audio recorders in there, and then they go ahead and go explore the town to find the original shootout location.
Mhm.
And while they were out of the building, they hear sounds of walking inside the hotel when nobody's there.
Ooh. Okay.
And they hear an EVP of a woman saying help.
Oh, that's really sad. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. As they were setting up cameras, they got an EVP of someone saying, "What was that?" and "What you want."
Ooh, okay. All right.
So they heard multiple knocking noises, and I like this. Okay, the skeptical side of me likes this a lot.
Mhm.
They went up to the area where they heard the knocking, and they were able to replicate the sound by knocking on the wood, because the building's wood. So they knocked on the wood of the building, and they were able to replicate the knocking sound they heard. And
Okay.
then they looked outside, and so like the wall where they heard it, like the corner of the room they heard it, was on an exterior wall.
Okay.
And when they looked outside, there was like a light that's kind of hanging loose. It's on that front portion where we were, that light that's down
Right.
that wall.
Yeah.
It was kind of hanging loose, and they said maybe if the wind picked it up, it was knocking it, but they could never verify whether it was or was not the light.
Okay.
But they did list that as a possibility of what the
That's
knocking
good.
was.
Yeah, that's good.
So I like that. They
Yeah, for
were
sure.
they were making sure that people knew that it could have been something other than supernatural.
Yeah.
They also did, I thought this was interesting. I had not heard of this before. They did what they called audio baiting.
I've heard the term, but I don't know what it means.
So basically what they do is they play audio clips that could potentially like bring a reaction from whatever spirits are there.
Right, right.
So during those sessions, they play recording while they're not in the room. So they set it up to play, they leave the room, it plays, and then they go back inside. The 2 clips that they played were of saloon music and gunfire.
Okay.
So after one of the sessions, before the group had entered again, an EVP was heard of a man saying, "Get out, Kathy," and there was an investigator named Kathy.
Oh, that's so creepy to me when they like know your name. If they call you by
I
your name.
know.
Because it's like that means it's intelligent. Like it's not just some residual energy. Like it knows you're there and it knows your name. Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it at
Yeah.
all.
Another device nearby picked up hay.
That
After
one's
the
not a
audio
spooky.
baiting, it's not spooky, no. After the audio baiting sessions, the team decided to do a sit-down session. So I don't know what all entails a sit-down session, but one of their team members, Christy, tried to communicate with the female and male spirits that she felt were present at that time. While she was trying to communicate with them, the other team members kept seeing a dark shadow figure walking back and forth outside the door to the room they were in.
No, I can't do that. I can't handle that. I'm so glad we did not record this before going there because I would be like, we have to leave. Oh, I
Yeah.
hate that. I hate that.
They also got an EVP of 4 knocks. So they did not hear these knocks in person. They heard these later. And it was right after Christy asked how many spirits were present.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's spooky and cool.
Yeah, and so that means like they did not hear that in real time. They heard
Yeah.
that later, but it was right after she asked that question.
Right, right. It was an intelligent answer. Yeah.
It was an intelligent answer. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, the other thing, I just want to read you a little bit. This is the psychic investigator that they had with them. She I'm just gonna quote her, use her own words.
Okay.
She said, I felt the presence of a female spirit. She felt quite young and around the age of 19. She told me her name was Claudia Jean Bristow. She followed us around for a while out of curiosity just to see what we were doing. And then after, I'm going to skip around forward. They did the audio baiting. It was during this time I heard the female begging us to stop the gunfight sounds.
Oh.
I saw her with her hands over her ears saying, "Please stop that shooting." We stopped the audio and I asked her why she wanted us to stop, and she said that she hated it and it reminded her of what happened to her and her baby.
Oh.
Yeah. She showed me an image of her young child in a white christening gown, and the baby appeared to be about 10 months old. She and her child were apparently victims of a shooting that took place in their home in the mid-1800s where they lived. Claudia told me that she missed her husband and felt all alone, and she wanted to go back to her parents' house until she could find her husband.
That is so sad. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that. Okay.
Yeah. After our gunfight audio baiting session, the 3 of us, so she and other investigators, heard knocking upstairs. When she got upstairs, she felt the atmosphere had changed, and she picked up on a spirit with the name of Delbert. He was upset because they had woken him up. I don't like that.
Me as a ghost. Me as a
Yeah.
ghost. You disturbed my nap. Get up.
It's like the cave in Aladdin. Who disturbs my slumber?
Yes, that would be me as a ghost for sure. Be like, I finally get to sleep for eternity and you're messing it up.
Like, I was supposed to get to sleep for as long as I wanted. I did not set an
Exactly.
alarm for a reason. Go
No
away.
alarms anymore. Ah, yeah. I relate, Delbert. I get it.
I get it, Delbert. We all have a Delbert inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
He was upset at us because we woke him up with the gunfight audio. He wanted to know who we were and why we were there. After explaining it to him, I asked him to tell a bit about himself, but he wasn't interested in chatting with us and just stayed in the shadows for the rest of the evening.
Do you think he's the one that kept telling us no?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, that could be. He
Interesting.
could have been like, guys, leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep.
I bet it was. I bet it was Delbert. Ah, we should have
If
been
we
like,
get
is
an
this Delbert?
if we get an EVP of somebody saying sleep,
But then we know it's Delbert. We know
we
it.
know it's
Oh,
Delbert.
I can't wait to listen to those. Okay, I'm excited.
So the other thing I forgot to mention is the replica of the hotel was also, it used to be used as an actual hotel, a place to
Okay.
stay. So some people, that worked at like a nearby plant or oil field or something, they stayed there. And it was actually used for lodging.
Okay,
It wasn't just a building for replica. Like they use it as replica building, but it was an actual hotel.
Okay.
So the psychic thought that he might have been connected to the hotel when it served as boarding for people that were nearby.
Okay. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness.
And just so you know, we did not go to the Ingalls cemetery because I hadn't really seen anything about it being spooky. And they went there and they also did not get anything spooky from there.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are the spooky things of the Ingalls Hotel.
Spooky.
So in total, they think that there's really 2 spirits present. That's the ones that they've felt and communicated with, a woman and the male. And
Claudia
they
and
don't
Delbert.
Claudia and Delbert, and they don't think that either spirit is harmful to the building or to those who enter the building.
Okay, cool. Cool. They just want to be left alone. Delbert does
They
anyways.
just
It's interesting they
Delbert
didn't pick
wants
up
to
the one that
sleep.
we talked to, but they didn't pick up the one we talked to.
I know.
Yeah. Isn't that strange?
But remember when the investigator Christy, when she asked how many spirits are here, the knock was 4.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Huh.
So
there's still one
maybe
mystery spirit.
there's still one mystery spirit.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah.
Crazy.
Maybe sometime we'll be brave enough to ask if we can go in there and ghost hunt and see if they'll let us in there. That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
So that is the story of Ingalls.
Great job. I love it. It's so spooky and so cool and so historical.
Thanks. Yeah, it was cool. Like the history on that is crazy. I mean, an actual gunfight that you think of for like Old West kind of stuff in Oklahoma.
I mean, it is Oklahoma. So like
I know,
that
but
tracks.
like it does, but you just I don't know. I still
it's
think
still
of
really
it
cool.
Happening. It is. I still think about it happening earlier though than right before 1900. I don't know why.
Yeah. I get that. I feel like mid 1800s or something sounds more like it. Yeah. Not 1981. That was so funny. I was so confused.
I don't know where I got that. I have no idea.
Oh, incredible.
Because all my sources said 1893. I don't know where I got the 1981. I don't know if I had just a dyslexic moment and messed up my numbers. I don't know.
It's okay. It happens. And it took me like a solid 30 seconds to be like, okay, wait a second. Hold on. The 1980s? And they're in a buggy? What?
Yeah, it was a reenactment. Wouldn't it be funny if I said yeah and it was like a reenactment or something?
I would have been like, I stand corrected. Sorry, I will never question you again.
I should have went with it and pretended it was
You
a
should have.
reenactment.
You could have changed the whole story and I would have had no
I could
idea.
have.
No clue.
Yeah. But then I wouldn't have been actually stating from sources. So.
Yeah, that's true. That would not have been good. But, oh man. That was a great story. Cool place.
Thanks.
Love it.
I know. I'm glad we went. I'm glad we went the second time.
I know. We have been having the worst luck with these investigations, but this one was really good. So this was great. Even though I almost froze holding those metal rods. It was really cold.
We need some gloves for when we do that.
Yeah, we do. For sure.
Unless I don't know if it works the same way with gloves on.
I think so, because it's like, I think it does. I don't want to try to explain it because it's just going to sound dumb when I'm trying to explain it. But they move freely inside. There's a metal tube thing that you hold, the handle. But they move freely inside of that. So I don't think it would affect it.
That makes sense. That didn't sound stupid. You're good.
Oh, great. Good. I said, this is going to sound stupid. I'm not going to say it. And then I just immediately said it. So, oh, well, what do you do?
It's fine. It was great.
Great. Perfect. It's so late now.
It is so late.
Goodness.
Oh, hey, I just want to shout out, I'm not going to say their name, but I just want to shout out my student who's following us on Patreon now.
Yes.
So you know who you are, and thanks for supporting us on Patreon, and shout out to all my students that are listening. Hope you guys enjoy. Shout
out to Catherine's students, to Miss Longest students.
To Senorita Longest students.
Sorry, yes, Senorita Longest.
Don't forget, guys, follow us on oh my gosh, I can't words.
Instagram at Spooky Okie Podcast. And
well, if you have just shut up.
If you have any suggestions for places we could go, stories we should cover, anything like that, you can DM us on Instagram or email us at spookyokiepodcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to follow us on Spotify. That will really help us out if you guys will subscribe to our podcast on there.
And on YouTube as well. We're on YouTube. So.
And TikTok.
Subscribe. And TikTok. Oh, I got to post another TikTok. It's been a while. I'll get on that. Update. We found creepy things in the pictures. Did we talk about that in any of our episodes yet?
Oh,
I don't think we did. You guys, our Fort Reno pictures that we were this whole investigation is a bust. We couldn't even investigate. We're just going to take some pictures. We have 3 spirits in the pictures.
It's creepy. And it's guys,
so creepy.
We're skeptical, okay? We're skeptical people. And on the one where it looks like there's a person in the window, I 5 times was okay, I'm trying to mentally think about where that location is on the building, and I'm like, okay, could it possibly be one of us in front of that window? It couldn't have been us. Not at that angle.
And you could tell it wasn't a reflection, it was inside the building. But there's nobody inside those buildings. They're locked. So yeah. It was spooky. So and it's also a black figure. So great. Yeah. Anyway, those are on our Instagram really if you want to see them. Check them out on Instagram. We post them on Instagram. I'm going to make some sort of TikTok about them too, I guess. But, ooh, spooky. I feel like there was something else I was going to mention. Maybe it was just that. Make sure you subscribe to Patreon so that you can see the videos of the investigations. Yes. We are posting those doing only on Patreon. Not putting those on YouTube. Nope. Our YouTube is videos of us doing the podcast, but the videos of the investigations are solely for Patreon. So yes, only $3 a month. So subscribe on Patreon and watch all the spooky videos. Woohoo! Thank you guys. All right. I think that's it. Stay spooky. Stay spooky.